What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing my gear bag that I have. Stick, pads, cleats, helmet, anything, you name it. So, my gear bag's right here, and we're going to be reviewing it, taking some practice shots, just going over everything you want, and going over pros and cons with everything. So the first thing we're starting off with is our stick. And the stick that I have right here is a Weapon X, a carbon, their first series of carbon pro line shafts, and the ECD 3.0 Hero 3.0 mesh, the Storm Striker version. So let's start off with the head. The head, it's a Weapon X, it's a face-off head, and the first thing I want to know when I get a face-off head is, can it perform like a face-off head? Does it have that bend? And does it have that ability to clamp down and pull up and be able to release the ball perfectly? And obviously when we first get the stick, it's not going to do that because it's going to be stiff and it's going to be a little hard to work with, but you work it in. So overall, I've been using this head for about a year now, and you can see right here a little bit of warping going on. But, I mean, you can kind of fix it, but it's not as much as I've seen with other heads, but it's definitely not the least I've seen. So it's a good head, but I think what ECD Greg and like what they were trying to go for here was a head that it's not a Fogo head, like a head that can do face-offs, but you can also play MIDI with it. And I like what they did there. There's definitely some other face-off heads like that, but this definitely performs better than some of the other ones on the market. And so, yeah, I don't really like what they did with the sidewall, but you know, you gotta work with what you gotta work with. But they did an interesting sidewall. I'm gonna show you right here. This sidewall, they use the oval sidewall, and I mean that's good. It prevents from cracking, but I'm not a big fan of the oval sidewall because it creates this weird shape that you have going on with your head. But overall, it's a great head. It's a great head. But enough with me talking. I'm gonna show you some face-offs that I did with this head and some shots. So I have a net right there, and we're gonna take some shots. Alright, I know I do not have shoes on, and this is very dangerous, and you should not try this at home, but I am going to take some shots. Now, before all you weirdos go in the comments and say, oh, but he's not facing off against anyone, and he's really bad at face-offs. Well, I actually do know how to face off, and I'm doing this to show the technique and how the stick bends, all right? Go. There. Go. So, there, it bends. You can see how the ball's pocketed in here. That's the way we want it. And it bends. This whole thing just collapses onto the floor. So we bring it over here, through, and back. Okay, so I did face-offs, and now to review the shaft. The shaft is, like I said before, it's the first line of the Carbon series. I have a Carbon Pro 2.0, but I'm too lazy to put it on. Like the 5th time I said that. But it's pretty rigid, it's pretty nice. I have, it's my dog barking, but I have mesh here. This is ECD 3.0 mesh, and I have a lot to say about this. I like the 2.0, it was just a little bulky, it was a little hard to string, but this is really sleek, it's really nice to string, it's water resistant. It's like what ECD always says. It's really good. It's like double threaded or something like that. It's really good mesh. I love this mesh. I would not choose any other mesh in a million years. It's my favorite mesh. But the only problem I had with it was it ripped one time really badly. I had the stick right up here. I was getting ready to shoot. I shot, and I made the goal, but the defender head got stuck in here, and like he was getting all spastic like that, trying to pull it out. So he ended up ripping my mesh, and I got really pissed. But there's planes, but where is it? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. But this is really good mesh. Like I said, it tore, but the reason why I love ECD so much is their warranty policy is great. You just send the picture of the damaged product, you send your receipt, and they send it back to you. Or they send a new one. And it's the free warranty is within 6 months of purchase. All right, now on to probably one of my favorite things I've ever dealt with. It's my gloves, and these are Maverik M4s. I taped over because sponsorships, you know, I can't get. This is a review video, but I don't know what I was doing. I just taped it over because I thought it looked cool. All right, but these are Maverik M4s. You can see that M4 right here, and these are my favorite gloves I've ever had. I've had these gloves bad. I've had a lot of gloves, mostly because I've torn a lot of them. Like right here, I have some visible tears right in there. That's a tear. There's a tear. And I've been playing with these for almost a year now, and they're awesome. They don't tear. They have that air that can come through. They have this air pocket right here. I honestly don't know what it does. I've never felt anything great with that. But they have these rubber, but it's basically for grip. And then they have just regular cloth right here. And I like how they like evenly distribute the amount of cloth, and they create an uneven thing right here with 2 rubber infused cloth and 2 regular cloth, so your hand doesn't get stuck when you're cradling. Like really, if you're trying to cradle really soft, it doesn't get stuck. So these are just all over really great gloves. And again, I don't know what they did with the shark gel thing, but it's fun to tap. It's really satisfying. All right, I'm definitely not dragging this video out more than 10 minutes so I can get an ad, because I have 0 subscribers and no one watches my videos. But these are Nike cleats, and they suck. They suck. And I mean, it's a little harsh, but they're bad. They're stiff, they're tough. I recommend the Freeze 2s, but I have like pennies in my wallet. I can't buy them. They're hella expensive. So I'm stuck with these cleats. I mean, you can't really, they're cleats. Like you can say a lot of things about the Freeze, like, oh, it has nice soles and it has these things that help your ankles, but these things, they're just regular cleats. Honestly, I don't really see differences in cleats, but I know some people do, and it's like the wedge with the soles, it helps the arch of your foot. There's a lot of things that you can argue that cleats really help your game, and I agree with that. I agree that you need good ankle support, which these have, but you need just good ankle support. That's really it where I think it. With the soles, it just really gets a better sole, makes you less uncomfortable, but we're all uncomfortable during a game at some points, so it really doesn't matter to me. I don't mind being uncomfortable in my cleats because I'm getting smacked with a stick, so honestly, that's the least of my concerns. But yeah, they're kind of bad. But again, I am broke. Shoulder pads. These are expensive. This is why I have pennies in my wallet. They're expensive and they're great. I had these really bad elbow pads when I first started out, and they were just horrible. They would just create rashes right on my arm, and it would hurt so much when I would take them off. I wear special sleeves for like 6 months because I thought they were good. I thought that's just what you felt like. And then my friend recommended these to me. He was wearing them, and he's like, hey, you should get these Maveriks. They're like Maverik Maxes, I think. And he changed my life. These things changed my life. It made my game so much better. And I just talked about how I don't really need cleats. You don't really need good cleats in a game. But there's controversy with that, and I definitely think there's controversy with elbow pads. But personally, I like having good elbow pads because one, it protects, and if you get smacked really hard, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So you need good protection there, because if you get sore there, then it's going to be hard to cradle. It's going to be hard to move your muscle's damaged. You need your blood's rushing, it's swelling up. You just need good elbow pads throughout. And you can have super beefy elbow pads, but you need something where you can actually move your arm. You don't need something that covers your whole arm and then your arm's like this the whole entire game. Like, that's not good. So I think this is like balances between actually covering and being able to have that motion. Like anti-slip rubber right here. So that's also a plus. I don't know what it does. It's just a plus. Well, I do know what it does. It stops it, but it doesn't really stop it for me. I get really sweaty. I'm really out of shape sometimes. My helmet, Cascade. It's my team helmet. Beautiful stickers right there. I mean, Cascade never fails to deliver good helmets. I've never had any other helmet company. I know there's other helmet companies out there, but Cascade really dominates the helmets. Yeah, I mean, you get comfortable padding inside. You have straps. The only problem that I have, and they keep doing it, and it annoys me so much, are these leather chin straps. You could see I have acne, and it's bad. I don't like what Cascade, you make me go to the dermatologist 2 times a week. It's not my fault. I wash this, but the leather isn't good. Why do you think leather's good? Do something like nice that feels nice on my chin. I don't want freaking cow leather. They're great helmets. I got smacked so many times with that helmet. All right. Chest straps. Why did I just call them chest straps? All right, they're chest pads, and these are they're also part of the Maverik Max series. External cardiac guard. Yeah, they spelled cardiac wrong too. I really hope that they meant to spell it wrong, or else that's kind of concerning. But they're good chest pads. I mean, it's like freaking body armor right here. And that's why I like them. I like to go into the gunfire, basically. I like to get smacked a lot because I'm not a guy who just like runs away. It's like it makes me not feel anything. And they have shoulder pads. The only problem though, it does look like my heart's beating out of my chest when I wear a jersey. It does look a little weird. I'm like sitting there like this, and then it's like all down flat right here. So it's a little unproportional. But, I mean, it's fine. I mean, who's gonna judge me? And then this back stuff is good. It really has these, I mean, it has air holes, it has everything, it has padding, it has cracks, and I like that they made cracks because I can move my shoulders better, and it's comfortable. I've never really had a problem with it. I know there's some other ones out there, and I know a lot of people prefer to have like basically no chest pads. Like this one kid on my team, he literally they're like strings over his chest, and I don't know how it gets approved. I don't know how Warrior is able to do that. It's like I forgot what product name it is, but they're literally look like strings on him, and he says he doesn't mind it because you can literally move around. It feels like you have nothing. But personally, I don't like that. I think that is it. So, if you like this video, you can like and subscribe, possibly. I mean, I really worked hard on this video. Yeah. But, yeah. In all seriousness, these are good products, and I really am happy with my product choice. At the moment, what I would change with my products if I had the money and I had the time and I had the effort, I would change my shaft, because my shaft is a little bit of an older model, and I do have the shaft. I actually do have the shaft, but I made a mistake. It was young me. You can blame past me. I hammered the head in, and I hammered the head in, so it's kind of just stuck there. So I don't really, I've been dealing with it for 2 years. I've been having it there for 2 years, but the head is kind of stuck on it. Like, you know, all heads don't support all shafts. So the head was a little small for the shaft, but my stick had broke. My shaft had broke like 2 days before, and I was about to go to a tournament. So I had a hammer in the car. I'm like, Dad, give me the hammer, and I smacked it 20 times with the hammer. I don't even have a screw in there because it just stays on. So that's kind of a plus, saving money on screws, I guess, even though screws cost like 2 cents. I would change my cleats too. I would get better cleats, but honestly, I really don't mind my cleats right now. I think they're great. I think they perform as well as I want them to perform. I just want to keep it how it is right now because everything is fine. I made some horrible choices in the past, but I did all my research. I know a lot about products on the line. So I really am happy with my product choice, and I hope this video helped you figure out your products, because I was just like you when I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I did not know what to get. I got really cheap pads, and I thought that lacrosse gear was really cheap. I'm like, oh wow, $20 for a chest pad? That's a deal. But it's not a deal because they're pieces of thin fabric. So yeah, I really think it all comes down to, are you willing to spend money? Are you willing to spend money? And that's not always the case. You can get really expensive products and they can turn out to be complete garbage, but it's like, are you willing to spend more than $50 for elbow pads, more than $50 for a chest pad, more than $100 for a good shaft? It all comes down to that. And I know a lot of people who have really cheap gear and they are much better than me, but it's just like, gear, it all comes down to preference, and it narrows down to how good gear is, but it really narrows down to like that thin thing. It's preference. Like, do you like this? Like, I like more padding, so I have these. I like more smaller elbow pads, so I have these. I just have a lot of things that it's all preference for me. If for the third time, if you like this, just tell me, because I really enjoy doing these videos. I really enjoy reviewing products because I want to share my knowledge with you. All right, thanks guys.